This is what revolution looks like.
I'm tired of losing.
What a queen!
Now that we've seen the end of Kenobi, it is time for the next Star Wars series, while we all wait for the next season of Mandalorian. This is Vader Reviews. We are honored that you would join us as we discuss the trailer for Andor. Before we begin, I would like to thank Heroes of the Empire, Ronald Morgan, and I'm just happy to be a Stormtrooper, Adam Jordan, for their generosity. I do not take your support lightly, and I am most grateful, my friends. The Empire thanks you for your service. So what are my thoughts on the new Andor trailer, and do I have any interest in the series? Well, as my old buddy Jar Jar would say...
No, not really, no.
Now, to be fair, if you're a fan of Rogue One, this series looks like it will be right up your alley, because it looks like it captures the same tone perfectly. For me, however, the only thing I really enjoyed about Rogue One was my wizard hallway scene, because it was all about me being awesome. The rest of the film, however, was visually and morally grey, subverting the main thematic element of Star Wars, the battle between the light and dark side. If I wanted to watch a grimy sci-fi film with morally grey characters, where everyone's pretty much despicable, I'd just watch the Chronicles of Riddick. At least that way I get to see Vin Diesel cut off a dude's head. Back to the trailer. I will say, it is beautifully shot, and credit where credit is due. It looks like the stingy old mouse finally gave one of their Star Wars shows a proper budget, because this looks very cinematic, and some of the visual effects look absolutely stunning, particularly for an hour of television. I always love seeing the Lambda-class shuttle, and seeing Coruscant and the Imperial Senate in live action once again brings back the feel of the prequels, and gave me a wave of nostalgia I did not expect. So well played, Mickey. You almost got me, but not quite. Now, it would be wizard if we got to see Palpatine once again. Maybe even me standing next to him in the Senate chamber. As great as it is that they finally put some money into this show, I will say it also kind of annoys me. Let me explain. I've noticed Disney seems to only give a proper budget to shows featuring their original characters. For example, The Mandalorian, and now Andor from the looks of it, have a level of quality the Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi were clearly lacking. Also, to me personally, all of the characters from Rogue One were incredibly dull and boring, so they decided to give this character a proper budget and 12 whole episodes. But all they could manage for Kenobi was 6? It's insulting. It's not fair. The biggest reason by far that I have severe misgivings about this series, however, are comments made by director Tony Gilroy. When speaking of events and legacy characters that will be featured in this show, he said, "What you know, what you've been told, what's on Wikipedia, what you've been telling each other, is really wrong." Which means they are retroactively making sweeping changes to the continuity of Star Wars, which always goes over well with fans, right? I'm also guessing we'll see why the Empire calls the rebels rebel scum, since according to actress Fiona Shaw, Gilroy, quote, created a whole new morality for Star Wars, where people have to make hard choices for the greater good. In other words, the rebels are probably going to seem more like terrorists, like they did in Rogue One. And if the good guys are despicable, where does that leave me? I'm supposed to be the bad guy. Now, admittedly, I wasn't very interested in this series to begin with, but after these comments on how they're changing the continuity and creating a new morality for Star Wars, any excitement the visuals in this trailer gave me were quickly dampened. Disney, and Hollywood in general, are historically terrible at subtlety, particularly when they try to make a film or series relevant. The best films and stories in general are timeless, because when you chase relevance, you severely date your creative work. But a timeless story will always be relevant. And that is why George Lucas's original Star Wars still holds up to this very day. So while this trailer was beautifully shot, so is The Last Jedi, and I didn't enjoy that film either for thematic reasons. When new writers try to change the established continuity of a franchise I've enjoyed for years, I never enjoy it. And from the director and actors' own mouths, that is exactly what they are doing with this show. I am not against adding to a story or a franchise, but not at the expense of established characters, continuity, or thematic integrity of a world audiences have enjoyed and passed down to their children for years. True creativity is not tearing down the old so you can reshape an established work to your own personal liking. Creative writing moves a legend forward, expanding to new places and characters while remaining true to what made the story worth telling in the first place. But sadly, modern studios seem to have forgotten this, and that is why I personally have no interest in this series whatsoever. But before you call me Darth Vader, the great thing about Star Wars is that there is plenty of content for everyone to enjoy. So if you liked Rogue One, this looks like it's the show for you. But those are my thoughts on Andor. What did you think of the trailer? Comment below and let me know. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications, and follow me on Twitter, @Vader Reviews. Join the Empire today. You do not yet realize your importance. Share these videos, and together we will rule the internet. And always remember, you don't know the power of the dark side.